In Bitcoin, do you think it's like a viable asset to invest in?
Oh, man. I don't want to make more enemies. I mean, you want the real, it's my last answer, but you want the actual answer?
Yeah, sure.
And here's why. I spoke at the Bitcoin conference actually last year. I've spoken at a couple of Bitcoin conferences. I love the idea of Bitcoin because I love the idea of financial autonomy. I don't want what I buy or sell to be tracked. I don't want my money to be tracked. It's nobody's business. I pay my taxes. I've never cheated on my taxes. I pay my taxes. I've never cheated on my taxes. I've been very tempted, but I never have one time cheated on my taxes.
What an odd thing to say. Especially when, you know who you are.
And once the money's mine, like I can do what I want with it. And if you find me breaking the law, arrest me. But if you don't, it's none of your beeswax, as the kids say. So I love the idea of the blockchain. I knew some of the people involved in that whole thing. And I still believe in that promise, okay? Roger Ver, for example. I don't know how closely do you follow this, but like, there are people who still believe in that. But it turns out that it is not, to this point, Ben, I hope it will be, a way to conduct financial transactions privately at all. And that really freaks me out. I'm really afraid of a digital currency because that is totalitarian control. If you can punish people, if you can zero out their bank account and keep them from eating, you will have total obedience. Like, that's totalitarian. And I know that young people love crypto because they've been completely screwed in the job market and there are no financial opportunities for most of them.
Totally not true, but you'll see why he says that. Like, what do people get out of these fake, like, characters that pretend to relate with them? Like, what would he know about anything we go through or what the youth go through? Swanson Air. Freaking father was Voice of America. Reagan, like, top aide. CIA. Pilgrim Society. Actually, his daddy used to, like, sell fear and propaganda to the Russians, even Tucker Carlson himself had some time, in Cuba.
If not poverty, certainly a step down from the way they grew up, most young people. And so Bitcoin for them, crypto in general for them, is a promise of like, how can I make it in this world? Like, I would like to have a normal life. How can I do that? And crypto is a way they think that they can. And I'm praying for them. I hope that's true. But I fear that it will become, like so many other things in our country, a scam of sorts run by a coalition of the financial beneficiaries, like a few people who are getting all the winnings, and the politicians they control who use it to further their control of American society. I'm really worried about that. And so I'll just be totally blunt with you. I'm a gold buyer, and I've been vindicated big time in that. And everyone's like, oh, you're crazy, buying gold. Yeah. It was good enough for the Phoenicians, it's good enough for me. And I, in general, don't get involved in anything I don't understand. I think that's a really good rule. There's some things I think I understand, turns out I didn't understand them, but in general, I try to limit myself to things I understand. And nobody can explain to me who Satoshi was, the creator of Bitcoin, this mysterious guy who apparently died, but nobody knows who he was. I grew up in DC primarily, in a government family, so CIA. But like, you're telling me to invest in something whose founder is like mysterious and has billions of dollars of unused Bitcoin? Like, what is that? And no one can answer the question, including some of the biggest holders of Bitcoin in the world. Do I know personally? They're like, oh, it doesn't matter. What matters to me?
And right there, that's that stupid grin, that look he always does on his face, because, like, to probably a lot of people, it's like, oh, he doesn't know. No. But he's just another liar, like when Trump said this back in 2019. The BRICS were the brainchild of Goldman Sachs. A commenter over on AscensionWithEarth.com has brought the following summary article to my attention. BRICS and the International Development System, Challenge and Convergence, from the Institute of Development Studies. The BRICS acronym, in its most common usage, derives from a report to investors by Goldman Sachs analyst Jim O'Neill, signaling the new dynamic that four large countries, Brazil, Russia, India, and China, were bringing the global economy at the beginning of the new millennium. A conclusion advanced in the Goldman Sachs report was that BRICS should be included in the G7 as their macroeconomic, watch out for that one, significance increased in the decade to come. The at the beginning of the new millennium part must have been why the globalists launched the G20 on the eve of the new millennium. The inaugural meeting was in December 1999. Yep, you heard that right. 1999. They brought the BRICS into the global governance system even before the actual alliance came to form in 2006, even before the term BRIC was coined in 2001. Stay with me, y'all. After looking into all this, I found the PDF of the 2001 O'Neill report on the Goldman Sachs website. And I just want you guys to see that when I did click on that link, now, today, we can't find it, but it goes straight to the goldmansachs.com website. And that's actually happening to a lot of the sites I got on this article, which I will link to. It's a very important article. What's really concerning me, though, right now is his relationship to Lutnick and to the Trump administration. And Tether now is basically in charge of child trafficking. Like, they have this hotline. Like, it doesn't even make sense to me at all when you think of this guy's past. And if you didn't see the Den documentary, it's called An Open Secret, but I have a video here. It's really freaking scary. Like, it's just so scary. And they have Plantaire running the actual operation. So, with what's going on with some of these Walmart stores having the photo labs of the kids and the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children being a Clinton Foundation, it's basically just not a place to go. They have this hotline. Like, it doesn't even make sense to me at all when you think of this guy's past. And if you didn't see the Den documentary, it's called An Open Secret, but I have a video here. It's really freaking scary. We just got to stop believing those that keep lying to us and are there for our enslavement. And then we'll get into the original white papers. And yeah, you'll see that around that time, actually, it was the 80s. I would say early 80s, 90s. I mean, there's even like this issue of The Economist, and it was in 1988. That's crazy. So yeah, ain't nothing new under the sun. But if you dig and dig, you'll find out, as always, usually at least, it goes back to the Crown Corporation. And yeah, this goes way, way back, and Vatican, all that jazz. You know, they really don't see us as human. They never did. But yeah. All right. Have a good one, y'all.